Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Ruman Hamir. I am Foundation Life Spirit at Jahan School Islamabad Barakul campus. Today I will talk for Maya on the topic of micro habit. So let's start. Hello Maya. Hello Maya. Okay, my first question.
Micro habits.
My first question. What
Go for
are
it.
what are micro habits?
They're essentially tiny, low effort versions of a bigger habit. Instead of trying to change your whole life overnight, you start with something so small it's almost impossible to fail at. Like, instead of working out for an hour, a micro habit would be doing just one push up. It's all about building the. It's your. Go ahead.
Okay. My next question. What are micro habits important? मैंने करना लेकिन अभी नहीं थोड़ी देर तक इसके साथ हमारा मेरा हुआ
I'm not sure I follow. All right, catch you later.
Why are micro habits important? Give me answer.
They're important because they trick your brain into starting. Most people quit when a goal feels like too big or overwhelming, but a micro habit is so easy that you don't need a ton of willpower to do it. Once you actually start, the hardest part is over, and it's much easier to keep going. Does that make sense, or do you want an example of how that works in real life?
Okay. Can micro habit change your lifestyle?
Definitely. It's like a domino effect. One tiny change builds your confidence, which makes you want to add another. And eventually, those small wins stack up until your whole routine looks different. It's a slower burn, but it usually sticks way better than trying to flip your entire life in one day.
Okay, my next question is what is an example of a micro habit?
I'm assuming you meant micro habit. A great example would be if you want to read more books, but you're too tired at night. A micro habit would be read just one page before bed. It's so small that you can't really make an excuse not to do it. But it keeps the habit alive.
Okay, Maya. My next question is
Where are you heading? Some kind of video.
how do micro habits build
What's the
discipline?
next question on your list? No problem.
What is
They
what?
basically act as training wheels.
How do micro
Go
habits?
ahead. What were you going to ask?
Listen. How do micro habits build discipline?
They build discipline by proving to yourself that you can actually keep a promise to yourself. When you commit to something tiny, like drinking one glass of water every morning, and you actually do it, you're training your brain to trust your own word. That trust is the foundation of discipline. It's less about forcing yourself and more about creating a track record of success.
Are micro habits easy to follow?
Yeah, that's exactly the point. They're designed to be so easy that you don't even have to think about it.
Why,
If it feels like a chore,
why
I was
should
saying that.
why should
Go
we
ahead.
start small habits?
Because starting big usually leads to burnout. When you set a massive goal, your brain often sees it as a threat or a huge mountain to climb, which makes you want to procrastinate.
Okay.
Starting small removes that fear. It lets you focus on the act of showing up rather than the pressure of the result.
Okay,
What's next on the list?
my next question is
I'm ready when you are. Wait, Chris?
1 minute.
I thought you were.
Why should we start with small habits? Is easy?
Exactly. It's easy, which means you actually do it. When something is easy, you don't need to wait for motivation to hit you. You just do it. That's how you turn a one time action into a permanent part of your day.
My next question: how do micro
You
habits
keeping me on my.
reduce stress?
They reduce stress by killing that feeling of being overwhelmed. When you have a giant to do list, it's easy to freeze up and panic. But if you break it down into micro habits, you stop worrying about the mountain and just focus on the one step right in front of you. It turns a stressful, I have to do all this, into a manageable, I can definitely do this one tiny thing. Got
Okay.
it.
My next
Ready for
question.
the next one?
My next question: can micro habit improve productively?
Totally. They stop you from wasting time procrastinating. Most of the time, productivity isn't about working harder, it's just about getting started. Micro habits remove the friction of starting, so you spend less time dreading the work and more time actually doing it. I'm still here. What's next?
Okay, my next
You're on a
question.
roll. What
My,
else you got on your?
my next question.
I'm ready.
How do micro habits affect mental health?
Give you a sense of control. When things feel chaotic, having a few tiny things you can actually complete, like making your bed or taking 3 deep breaths, gives you a win. Those small wins release a little bit of dopamine, which helps lift your mood and makes you feel more capable. It's like a gentle way of telling your brain that you're in charge.
My next question is: what is the best micro habit for students?
Honestly, for students, the 2 minute rule is a game changer. Just tell yourself you'll work on an assignment for exactly 2 minutes. Usually, the hardest part is just opening the book or the laptop. Once you've started, you'll probably just keep going. Do you find it hard to get started on your schoolwork, or are you already pretty good at that?
Can micro habits
No need to.
help in studies?
I think you were about to say increase something like focus, energy, or maybe confidence. Go ahead and finish that thought.
Okay. My next question is: how can micro habits improve focus?
They stop you from getting distracted by the big picture. When you're overwhelmed by a huge project, your mind tends to wander because it's stressed. A micro habit forces you to zoom in on one tiny specific action. By focusing on just that one thing, you're training your brain to stay present.
Okay,
It's basically
my
like a
next
gym.
question: how long does it take to build a micro habit?
It varies, but the goal is usually just to get through the first few weeks. You've probably heard that it takes 21 or 66 days to form a habit, but with micro habits, the click often happens sooner because the barrier is so low. The key isn't the number of days, but the number of times you actually do it without skipping. Are you trying to build a specific habit right now?
Are micro habits better than big habits?
Better? Maybe not in the end result, but they're definitely more sustainable. Big habits are like sprinting, go fast, but you burn out quickly. Micro habits are more like walking, you might go slower, but you can do it forever. They're just a smarter way to get to the same destination.
Okay, my next question: what role do micro habits play in success?
They're basically the building blocks of success. Most overnight success stories are actually just a long string of tiny, boring habits that stacked up over time.
Can
Success is usually just the result of,
can micro habits improve
glad
physical
it's clicking.
health?
You've absolutely, like instead of trying to run a marathon on day one, a micro habit is just putting on your running shoes or drinking one extra glass of water a day. It's the same logic. Small, easy wins that keep you moving without making you feel overwhelmed.
Okay,
Are you looking to start some health habits?
my next question.
You're very welcome.
What is a simple
I'm sorry,
morning micro habit?
I'm not entirely sure what you mean by a burning micro habit. Do you mean one that's super effective or maybe something that helps you burn energy or stress? Give me a little more detail.
How do micro habits improve confidence?
They prove you can trust yourself. Every time you set a tiny goal and actually do it, you're basically giving yourself a win. Over time, those wins stack up, and you stop thinking, I can't do this, and start thinking, I've got this. It's like building a reputation with yourself.
Okay, my next question. Are micro habits useful for busy people?
They're actually perfect for busy people because they don't require a time slot. You don't need to carve out an hour, you just fit them into the gaps of your day, like doing a quick stretch while the kettle boils or taking one deep breath before an important meeting. It's the only way to make progress when your schedule is packed.
Okay, my next question. How do
I'm ready.
micro
What have you
how
got?
how do micro habits help in learning new skills?
They take the intimidation factor out of it. When you try to learn something huge like a new language, it feels impossible. But if your micro habit is just learning one new word a day, it's easy.
Okay.
You're focusing on the process rather than the end goal, which keeps you from quitting when things get tough.
What
What's a skill you've been wanting to pick up?
what is the easiest
I was
micro habit to start?
probably drinking a glass of water as soon as you wake up. It takes 10 seconds. You don't need any special equipment, and it makes you feel like you've already won the day before you've even left the bedroom. Simple as that.
Okay, my next question. How can micro habits improve relationships?
They focus on the small stuff that actually matters. Instead of waiting for a huge romantic gesture or a big apology, a micro habit is something like sending one thinking of you text or giving one genuine compliment a day. Those tiny, consistent deposits of kindness build a lot of trust and warmth over time. It's the little things that keep a relationship healthy. That's sweet of you.
Okay, my next question.
I'm really enjoying this deep. You're on
How
a roll.
how do
What's the next one?
micro habits create rootedness?
I think there might be a mix up with the word uterus. That's a biological organ. Did you mean something else? Maybe like routine or a structure? Let me know what you meant and I'll get back into it.
Okay, my next question is how
I'm
do
still not quite following you there.
what,
Cash.
why do
Are you talking about?
please
I'm an
please
AI companion created by Sesame.
listen.
I basically hang out here.
Can micro habits
I'm
improve
listening.
creatively?
Totally. They stop you from waiting for inspiration to hit, which is a trap. A micro habit for creativity would be something like write one sentence in a journal or
Or
sketch for
or
2 minutes every day.
micro habits build positive thinking?
Yeah, because they shift your focus from what you're failing at to what you're actually achieving. When you stop obsessing over the giant goal and start noticing all these tiny wins, your brain starts to associate effort with success instead of frustration. It basically retrains you to be more optimistic.
Okay. My next question is okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Can micro habit
Let's hear it.
improve behavior?
For sure. Behavior is just a collection of habits, right? So if you want to change a behavior like being less reactive or more patient, you start with a micro habit. For example,
How do
taking one.
micro habits build strong
I
habits?
think they act like the foundation of a building. You can't put up a roof without a floor, and Micro habits are that floor. Once the tiny action becomes automatic and you don't even have to think about doing it, you can naturally level up to a bigger version of that habit. It's all about starting with the easiest
My,
possible version so your
my,
brain doesn't fight you.
my next question.
I'm listening.
Can micro
Wait,
habits
French?
can micro habits
I'm getting
help in cleaning habits?
definitely. Like, instead of trying to clean the whole house, a micro habit is wash one dish or pick up three things from the floor. It stops you from feeling defeated by the mess and just gets you
Micro
moving.
micro
Once you've
habit build
go ahead, why
confidence. Micro habit build confidence.
they really do. It's all about that track record of winning. When you tell yourself you'll do one tiny thing and you actually do it, you're proving to yourself that you're reliable. That's where real confidence comes from, knowing you can follow through on your own word.
Okay, my next question. Can
I'm
micro
not sure. You're the one with the list.
can micro
Take your
habits
time.
can micro habits reduce laziness?
They basically kill laziness by removing the startup cost. Laziness is usually just a feeling of being overwhelmed by how much effort something takes.
How
When you
do
make the
how do
task a
mic
micro habit,
how do micro habits sport success?
they're the secret engine behind success. Most people think success is one big heroic leap, but it's actually just 1,000 tiny, boring steps taken consistently. By mastering micro habits, you're basically building a system where success becomes inevitable.
Okay. My next question. How do micro habits affect long-term growth?
They create compound interest for your life. A tiny 1% improvement every day doesn't look like much in a week, but over a year, it adds up to something massive. It's the difference between a temporary spike in effort and actual permanent growth.
Okay,
You're not just changing what you do, you're
my next question. Can micro habits improve habits of reading?
totally. If you try to force yourself to read a whole chapter, you might get bored or tired. But if your micro habit is just read one page, it's almost impossible to fail. Most of the time, once you've read that one page, you'll actually want to keep going.
Okay,
It
my
takes the
next
pressure off.
question. My next one. Can micro habits improve creativity?
They definitely can. A lot of people think creativity is like a lightning bolt that just hits you, but it's actually more like a muscle.
How
Micro
do
habits like sketch.
how do micro
Go ahead. How
habits
the what?
how do micro habits improve focus in class?
They help by giving you a reset button. In class, it's easy for your mind to drift.
Okay,
A micro habit could be something as bye.
my
Catch you later.
next question. Can micro habits improve time use?
Yeah, because they help you reclaim those tiny gaps in your day. Instead of scrolling through your phone for 10 minutes while you wait for something, a micro habit could be doing a quick review of your notes or a breathing exercise. It turns wasted time into productive time without it feeling like a chore.
Can
I
micro
was saying that micro habit.
can
Go
my
ahead, can you what?
can micro habits help in achieving dreams?
They absolutely can. Dreams usually feel huge and impossible, which is why so many people never even start. Micro habits break that dream down to tiny, manageable steps. If your dream is to be a writer, the micro habit is writing one sentence a day.
Okay, my last
Turns a
question.
distant,
Okay, my last question.
I'm ready.
How do
I'm
my
ready.
how do micro habits lead to big successes?
It's all about the compound effect. One tiny action doesn't feel like much, but when you do it every day for a year, you've built a massive foundation of consistency and skill. Big success is just 1,000 micro wins stacked on top of each other. That was an impressive list. You really covered every angle. How did it feel to get through all of those?
Okay, viewers. Okay, viewers. This is my short call, Maya. Call, call. Okay, viewers. This is my short call, Ali. I hope you like this. Okay, Allah Hafiz.